Good evening and welcome to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez circuit for tonight's Mexican Grand Prix. You join us for round one of season 5 of the Invictus Performance League. But as always, a quick introductory to my partner in crime, as always, is Malk. Good evening, Malk. How are you this evening?
You're right, Craig. I am very well, thank you. How are you, though, Craig? You okay?
A bit stressed after having a few issues with my connection, but we are here and it looks a bit overcast at the moment in qualifying for this short qualifying session of the 17 turn track, shall we say, consisting of 4.3 kilometres or 2.6 miles with one DRS zone. And we've got a brand new league, so a lot of familiar and unfamiliar faces for tonight's race in terms of the Bookster, who joins us from last season's F1 league, and we have Wave Intel and Tejwa, who also joins us. So I think there's a lot of unpredictability about tonight's race, Mark.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you just do not know what to expect, Craig. And, with the new guys, especially the old guys returning and stuff, you just do not know what to expect. And I know I keep repeating it because last season, correct me if I'm wrong, we had 11 different race winners. And
No,
10
you're certainly right. Yeah, you're certainly right there, Mark. We did have 11 different race winners in 12 leagues. 12 races.
Oh, definitely. Just watching Wave Intel now doing his lapping. Oh, he's just doing it absolutely coming up to the first few corners now. It looks beautiful around there. I mean, what's your overall of Mexico?
Certainly enjoy it in the dry. When it's wet, Sector 2 is very challenging, as we saw last night in the No Assist League. So it's a nice flowing track through the S section, but a lot of 90-degree top corners, and you can't really find a rhythm. Certainly that was the feedback from returnee to Invictus, Jamie, who joins the F2 league. He's not a fan of the track. For myself, there are parts of the track that I enjoy, and then there's also tracks that I don't enjoy as much. But I do like the unpredictability of this strategy. There's a variety of race strategies that can be opted for in the race, and at the moment we've got Ferrari drivers are spud on the soft tyres, as well as Fascone still in the pits, yet to come out of course with 8.5 minutes remaining of the session. Wave Intel, the new addition to the Performance League in the Haas car, setting the early pace with a 1:18.3. I'm sure we'll certainly see quicker lap times than that, Malk.
Oh, definitely. You just don't know what to expect here. But the Bookster. I don't know how I said that properly. But just watching him now coming into the final corner now. Mr. Steve did 1:38.3. Oh, Bookster! 1:17.9. That is a quick lap from a McLaren car. Oh, that's just absolutely intense moments there.
Yeah, very impressive from a very quick driver, the Bigster. But MJ Coupe takes 6/10 of a second away from that time in the pink Force India. A car that you were familiar with last night, Malk.
Oh, definitely. It was a nightmare to drive, especially in the wet with no assists and stuff. It was just absolutely tough conditions. But correct me if I'm wrong. Tyre wear strategy. I've been told from the weather crew that it's going to be dry quali and dry race. So, what are your best solution for tyre situations, Craig?
I certainly think track condition is key, as always in every race, and it pays to be on the ultra soft tyre. But you're right, Mark. Tyre wear and tyre degradation is incredibly high here at the Mexican Grand Prix. It's almost impossible to pull off that one-stop strategy unless you go for the super softs onto the soft later on, or you don't actually set a qualifying lap at all. But the one-stop strategy can only really be achieved by the super soft strategy, or if you feel you want to risk it, You can
For a
go
biscuit.
you can go for the ultra soft strategy without qualifying, but primarily we will see drivers going for the two-stop strategy, whether it's starting on the ultras or the super soft tyres, and I'm sure that we'll see that from the majority of the grid tonight, that we will see drivers going for the quicker tyres in terms of their strategy. I don't think it's going to be common to see the soft tyre unless you're qualifying outside the top 10 and you're not a driver with incredible pace. So that might be why we're seeing Sir Spud on the soft, or he could just have a banker lap. But with 6 minutes remaining, Fascone is also coming out on track on the soft, just coming around the chicane at turn 1 and 2 and 3 along that second DRS zone.
Yeah, and while you're watching that, Craig, I'm watching Jake. I don't know if he's got issues with the car and stuff because he's jumping or something, I don't know, but he's trying to do his actual lapping now.
Very wide at the exit of turn 17. They're almost kissing the wall. Possibly looking to straighten up the car as quick as possible, optimising that run down towards turn 1, but very wide on the exit, and it looked as if he had to lift off there as he was just coming round the deepest part of the turn.
Yeah, he's struggling with the S's part now, but he's coming up to the first DRS, well, it's the second DRS now. So he's just doing a 29.1 first sector, Craig. 29.1 in a Mercedes car.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's certainly competitive, and that is what we would expect from the Mercedes car. But Jake Warner, after his return to racing, hasn't had a great pre-season, and he was saying earlier on in social media that he really wants to overturn that going into tonight's first race of the season.
Yeah, you are right there, Craig, but you just... I can't say the words now because it's like
ting tang walla walla bang bang.
Big bang. That's it.
It's karaoke racing. Who needs karaoke carpool when you've got karaoke everyone?
Yeah, under pressure, pushing down on me.
Oh, Jake Warrior in the Mercedes puts it up in third place, 4/10 of MJ Coop's time in the Force India, but Rossi actually just coming out on the track, going on his outlap, looking to get temperature in the ultra soft tyres and the brakes, just coming round the stadium section, coming up towards turn 16 and round that long right hander at turn 17, looking to maximise the exit speed, getting that long run down to turn 1 as he approaches the DRS activation point. Opens up the rear wing in the Renault, and that long run down. You've got time to watch the scenery all around about you, spotting that braking point at the 100 metre marker board, slight lock up on the right hand side of the tyre, trying to open up the second turn, try to maximise the exit and the entry into turn 2 and 3, and we've come up to the second DRS zone at turn 4, getting the braking, slight lock up on both front tyres, trying to get the car back over to the left hand side for that tricky right hander in race curb, and now it's a double right hander down at turn 5 and 6, and now the challenging S section. And it looks as if he's really struggling with understeer there, Mark, certainly at the second stage of the S section.
Yeah, it looks like he's struggling there, Craig, but I just thought I'd quickly check on all the other drivers as well. I saw Sab's coming in, he's done an invalidated lap, he's got to do one more, he's 2 minutes 30 left, Craig.
Yeah, but the question is, Mark, does he have enough fuel?
He's got loads of fuel, Craig. I'm seeing it on my screen. He has got loads of fuel to do maybe 2 more laps.
Well, Rossi sets a 1:18.2. That's 2/10 down on his quickest lap. So certainly time to be gained for the Renault driver as we approach that 2-minute warning of qualifying. MJ Coop still remains in the pits. Could we be seeing a Vettel-esque attempt right at the death of qualifying, as Notorious in the Red Bull is on his outlap as well? Issue for Fascone. Yellow flags in sector 1.
So Spud has got Paul! Oh my god, this is going to be intense! Oh, we could have a heart attack here, Craig. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and in response to that, Force India have actually got MJ Coupe out on track. So Force India are feeling that MJ Coupe has it in them to take back pole, but there's a lot of traffic on track at the moment. A quick comment from Captain Stiff, thank you for joining us this evening. He feels that MJ Coupe will be the one to watch in the Formula 3 League this season, certainly. When I posed a few interview questions to him, I certainly felt that he was one of the favourites to claim the F3 title this season. In the interview, he was actually downplaying it a little bit, so a little bit of mind games possibly from MJ Coupe in reference to the F3 League.
Oh, possibly, Craig, possibly. But you are right. He's got a good chance of getting to do well in top, in F3. As we were saying, Nigel Gas is going to the top 3 with a 1:17.5, and that's a good lap from him. I'm just watching Meg Lugpin now, but as referencing to what you said earlier, Craig, with MJ Coupe, I think he has got a good chance. But the ones that are impressing me during F3 is possibly MJ Coupe and Waving Tail.
Yeah, certainly two drivers to watch for this season in F3. Could possibly move up to F2, and it'll be interesting to see how they fare against quicker drivers in the Performance League.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Craig, I didn't mean to interrupt there, but Meg Lugpin would have got 3/10 quicker. He would have got 6th or 7th. So Spud has retired in the pits. I don't know who to pick.
I'm just right on board with MJ Coupe. Just comes up to the end of Sector 1. We didn't get a delta time there compared to his previous lap time. So we're just approaching the S section that turned into turn 7. Then 8, 9. There was a small break before we get that right. Turns 10 and 11, that short run down towards 12, and that takes you into the stadium section. So we're approaching sector 2, and he sets a 28.9 again. We're not getting any delta comparisons. We're just coming round that tricky turn 13, 14, up under the bridge onto turn 15, 16. Oh, runs wide. Innings of turn 17. Does that compromise his time? Oh, it's a 1:17.9. He's actually 6/10 down on his previous lap time. The only person that can really challenge for pole position is Jake Warren as he's coming through the stadium section at the moment. That looks as if it was Big Lugpin possibly moving up to P3 there, but Jake Warrior just come across the line, moves up to 3rd place. So Jake Warrior on his return to League Racing takes P3 in the Performance League. Fantastic drive from the veteran Jake Warrior, but absolutely magnificent from Sir Spud. Taking provisional pole at the moment in the Performance League, and he's going to certainly want to make up for previous seasons, just missing out on that top position at the end of the race season. So the qualifying results are in. Sir Spud takes pole, MJ Coupe 2nd, Jake Warrior takes 3rd, Big Lugpin 4th, Nitrogas 5th, Mr. Stim in the McLaren 6th, Notorious 7th, Tejwar takes 8th, Nick Thompson will take 9th, the Boogstar secures 10th. Just outside the top 10 is Mike Betrayer in 12th, Wave Intel was 13th, Rossi in 14th, Giuseppe in 15th, Sab in 16th, New Addition SJD in 17th, and Fascone qualifying on the soft, finishing in 18th.
Oh my god, this is intense, Craig. I think we've lost Nigel Gash while we was talking about the standings there. Yeah,
we hope that the league admins have spotted that, and they have. So Nitrogash will rejoin us for the start of the formation lap, and it's going to really be intriguing that drivers from Mike down from 11th down to 17th to see what tyres they may start the race on. We do know that the top 10 drivers are going to be locked in to the ultra soft, so they could opt for a double ultra soft and one super soft strategy, or two super soft and one ultra soft strategy. And what is really interesting, Malk, is that those two tyre strategies are very similar in time. There is only 8/10 separating both strategies for the race.
Oh, definitely. It's just it is tough to pick what you're gonna do on that one, but I'm hoping the guys will pick this perfect one as long as they can manage the tyres, because this Mexico track, it just loves the tyres to be eaten up that quick.
Yeah, the front right, I believe, or the front left, I believe it is, will take
Yeah,
exceptional damage. It just shreds the front left tyre, being a clockwise track, and tyre management is going to have to be key. But also the dirty air through sector 2, the S section, a lot of time can be lost in there, but also a lot of tyre damage if you're actually scrubbing the tyres, sliding across the track from the front of the car due to loss of front downforce.
definitely. Um, it's hard to pick a perfect setup, don't you?
Yeah, certainly have to compromise straight line speed to negotiate the more technical sections of the track. And it doesn't always pay to have pole position on that run down towards turn 1. It's very similar to Spa. We've got a long run down towards turn 1, and you're certainly vulnerable to the toe on that run down. So Sir Spud will have to get a magnificent start in the Ferrari, because he's got a very fast Force India behind with the Mercedes power unit. And also Nitrogas, I believe, is very close, and the Red Bull might struggle with the straight line speed, but it will be absolutely mighty through sector 2, particularly the S section.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be with the S section, it's going to be tough on that one. But I'm hoping it's going to be okay with the tyre wear situation. But and we're kicking off in about 2-1, and then race start. We're just hoping that.
And this will be the first time that we will see the tyres that drivers are on. So surprisingly, a lot of drivers have went for a possible one-stop strategy. Betrayer, Rossi, Giuseppe, Saab and Fascone all opting to start on the soft tyre.
Yeah, Craig, I think we've got a problem here, because Nitrogas is not in the race line.
Yeah, I think we might have a race restart. So, although Nitrogas did rejoin the lobby, I don't think he's taken control of his car, and we might actually see a restart. So we're just waiting to see what actually happens. I'm hoping that the league admins have actually noticed it. Guys, if you can hear me, Nitrogas isn't on the grid. You've only got 17 cars registered. Guys, if you can hear me, there's only 17 cars on track. We don't have Nitrogas on the grid. You might have to restart.
Hoping.
Apologies for my short absence. I was trying to pass that message on to the league admins. Hopefully they were able to hear me. So we have received 2 disqualifications from the formation lap, and it looks as if we're actually going to be continued with the race. So not sure if Nitrogas has actually got back in his car for the race start.
No, this is kind of bad start for Nitro if everyone's going for it.
Yeah, it looks as if we're going to get started.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate the league admins have not noticed this, and it looks as if we're going to be getting a race start. It's a jump start from Rossi as we get the Mexican Grand Prix started. Sir Spud gets a good start off the line, but the Force India alongside. And Rossi, after that false start, is actually in the lead of the race, but he will have a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, Craig.
There's major contact. It is going to be a restart. It's going to be a restart. So we are going to get a restart, and that's possibly why we saw a lot of contact there from the drivers, because I think the drivers had actually disconnected at that point, which led to all the cars making collisions with each other. Yeah, and we just have it. We've had it confirmed. We will have a restart. So apologies for those watching tonight. We will have a restart from the race, and it should be a custom grid. So, Mark, a very interesting start to the first race of the Performance League.
It is a weird one because it's just absolutely. But I just did not want to see this happening at the start of the race.
Yeah,
so
it's just unfortunate we had that disconnect between qualification and the race, which meant that we were forced to have a restart. So, as the league admins will recreate the lobby, and they will also be working very hard to ensure that the custom grid is accurate to the qualification standings.
Yeah, hopefully they'll try and get that sorted as soon as possible and stuff. But just trying to log into their session now. I mean, what's your thoughts on the first start of the race, shall we say?
Yeah, I think it was quite a bad start there. I don't know if it was because of drivers pausing the car or pausing the game and leaving the session, which led to the mass collision. Certainly we don't see that at Invictus. We do not see that type of driving here, and that leads me to believe that it was due to people leaving the lobby and that resulted in a mass collision. Almost very similar to the one that we saw in Formula 1 Spa. I believe that was 95, if memory serves me right, where it was red flagged very early in the race due to very wet conditions. 98. It was either 95 or 98, I wasn't sure. So yeah, it was very Spa 1998-esque, and I'm sure that we'll get a better restart. So I think Mike, the league admin, is just coordinating with the drivers, just passing information on to the drivers, letting them know of the restart procedure, and it should be a custom grid to the qualifying standings. And what will make this interesting is that the top 10 drivers will actually start on fresh ultras. They will be locked in, of course, to the tyres that they qualified in. They won't be allowed to change the tyres, and it gives them a free run. So this allows them to actually go a bit longer than what they could have previously in the last lobby, and this actually disadvantages the drivers starting from P11 down. But will we see the drivers that started in the softs, who will have a free tyre choice, being out with the top 10, will they stick with the soft strategy tyre, or the soft tyre, and stick with the strategy that they were going to go for, Mark? If you were in that position, would you stick with the soft tyre, or would you go for the quicker tyre?
After seeing everyone's predictions and after looking at it, and because of the restart, I would have gone for the quicker tyre to start off with. Purely because I want to try and get a good start. But the problem is you try and use the longest tyre, but you're not going to get much out of them. So I would have gone for the quicker, just straight to the point. We would have gone quicker. How about you, Craig?
Yeah, it's a tough decision, because if you're on a quicker tyre, you really need to negotiate the grid as quickly as possible, get those overtakes done, and you might actually compromise your own strategy if you go for the quickest tyre to start with. I think playing the long game, allowing the grid to open itself up, may make for easier pickings when you're on the quicker tyre later on in the race, and you can catch the drivers up on the slower tyre, and you can use DRS. The problem is that when the pack is close together and you've got DRS on someone, it's very likely that they might have the DRS on someone ahead of them, and it almost neutralises your DRS. So you could almost shoot yourself in the foot doing that. I think the best option, if you're qualifying outside the top 11, you don't have that pace, is to go for the soft tyre. And there's not too much time gained by going on the soft, super soft one-stop strategy compared to the two-stop. You only really gain 4 seconds, and that might not be a big difference on the track, because the drivers round about you will be on quicker, fresher tyres, whereas the tyres that you have on a one-stop could actually be starting to hit the cliff, and you'll really lose a lot of time, particularly through Sector 2. So it's a gamble either way, Mark, and I don't think that decision is as obvious as it seems.
No. It's just like you are risking it for a biscuit if you're going for like the quicker tyre, which I would have gone for, because you want to try and get a good try and get a good start out of it. But as you said, I do agree with the softer tyre, but there's always a knock-on effect, because because you're on the slower tyre, you're not going to try and catch up with the guys who are got the ultra soft quickly. So that's fair enough. You want to play the long game, but you need to be compared, matching to them, and you're going to struggle with some of the corners, especially like the short corners where they burst out quickly. So in my opinion, I think that's why I suggested the quicker tyre, Craig. But as you said, the longer game, it is tough, and that's why I keep saying, well, my hand says this, the other hand says this, and you don't know what to expect. And this is the first ever race in the Performance League. Who do you think will be the one to watch this season if they can hold on?
I certainly think Spud could be a dark horse, but also MJ Coupe. We do know that he has a driver growing in pace and confidence in each race, and I certainly think that will continue to grow this season. But Nick Thompson, we do know. I think my favourite for the title this season is between Nick Thompson and Betrayer. We do know that they're both very quick drivers, and I'm not sure if Betrayer's sticking with the no assists in the Performance League. He did mention he was going to try it in equal Performance Leagues. So, yeah, he could be a good outside bet. He's a very experienced driver, and certainly a very quick driver on his day, and it looks as if we're all set up here, and we should be going straight into the 50% race, hopefully with the custom qualifying lobby all set up. So the conditions should be the same as the previous race, and I think Rossi might be a little bit relieved there, having did the jump start in the last race.
Yeah, I would go with that, to be fair, because I would have said, right, that was just pure lucky, just don't do that again. But as you were saying about the title challenges, I do agree with Nick and Betrayer. But I don't know, I think Sir Spud, as you said, dark horse with Sir Spud, but I think if you can keep it consistent, and MJ Coupe as well, those four are the ones where they could do something. So
yeah, absolutely. I think Spud, although he was given some very quick cars last season, he was just unlucky at times. I think there was a few incidents that he was involved in as well, and I mean that was just racing, and I think he was just unlucky, but he was up against some very tough competition last season with Core Tactics and Delange, who have both opted this season to focus on the Equal Performance Leagues, remaining teammates in the Formula 2 league, and they'll certainly both be drivers worth watching. And that throws the cat amongst the pigeon in terms of who's going to be this season's driver champion. We know we're actually going to have a brand new champion this season, and everybody starts from the same point. So I think early race victories are absolutely crucial to securing the driver's title. It's all about who can actually be the best driver over the course of the season, and certainly these early races are absolutely pivotal in gathering momentum for later on in the season.
Definitely. I think what you said there, Craig, is absolutely spot on. Everyone here is equal. Obviously, the realistic cars are different, but you know, I mean, everyone here is equal with the Performance League, and anyone here, as long as they get a good start and a good start to the season, then they will have a good chance of winning the title, or at least the top three. To be fair, though, I mean, would you have thought Delange would have hold on for third season, or did you think two seasons of it was enough?
I think he certainly has the experience and the skill to have mounted a title challenge for a hat-trick of seasons and hat-trick of titles. But I think certainly wants to get that elusive equal performance. If you just give us a minute, Mark, if you can continue, and I'll be back momentarily.
Yeah, that's fine. While Craig's just gone out of the commentary box for a bit, while I was saying about Delange, I mean, this is going to be absolutely, he could have had the hat-trick, but obviously, because of personal preferences and stuff, I think the double title winning Delange gave it a little bit of chance there. But in my personal opinion, while Craig's still settling down with the commentary box,
I've came back, and it looks as if we're just about getting underway. So we've got the countdown. So all drivers have selected their race strategies, and I'm hoping that we get ahead and started without any incident this time. We are 10 seconds away from the race start.
4, 3, 2, 1. Come on! Oh, I did another formation lap.
Yeah, so Spud gets us underway again on the formation lap, and we will get a look at what tyres the drivers are on. So it looks as if very similar strategies for Betrayer, Rossi, Giuseppe, Saab and Fasconi. SJD 1988 sticks with the super softs. The Torres making contact, Mr. Stim both making contact on the formation lap and both receiving a disqualification. So we'll have to review that. And Fasconi looks as if he was tied up in one as well, being disqualified from 18th. So we'll certainly be reviewing that after the race, and we'll certainly take action if necessary. So 3 drivers disqualified from the formation lap. It's a Spud just brings us round sector 2, looking to get this 36th lap race underway.
Yeah, this is just absolutely intense moments here. Just can't wait for the start of the Performance League. And
just as you were saying that, Malk, it looks as if Spud is very eager to get this underway as well, because he is flying away in the formation lap. Maybe nobody told him this formation lap, because he's shot away. He's got a 6.1 second lead over MJ Coupler, who's actually slowing the grid down. So Spud not doing himself any favours there, because he'll be sitting in his grid slot with tyre and brake temperature rapidly decreasing. So MJ Coupe just slowing down the grid and giving himself the best chance for a run on Sir Spud into turn 1. We did see in the last start of the race that he got alongside Sir Spud on the inside at turn 1, so he got an absolutely fantastic start.
Definitely. Oh my God, Craig, here we go. First race of the Performance League. Come on!
Yeah, so all 18 cars are in their grid slots. Green flags are being waved from the back of the grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. We are... Go! So Sir Spud comes across to cover off MJ Coupe. MJ Coupe tucks in behind the Ferrari. Tries to come run the outside. Oh, looks like... Yeah, MJ Coupe's actually alongside Sir Spud. Oh, MJ Coupe has control of turn 1. And MJ Coupe leads us into turn 1, but he went wide slightly and it allows Sir Spud to come back on the attack. But Jake Warrior in the Mercedes attacking Sir Spud and they run down towards turn 3.
Oh, Sir Spud has dropped, yeah, as you say, Craig, Sir Spud has dropped out to third. Oh my God, turn a bit. Oh, Nitro McLaughlin. Oh no, the contact.
Yeah, and you've got Mr. Stim and Notorious going wheel to wheel round turn 5.
Oh my God, Tej to the booster with a booster. Oh, Tej, oh, you beauty. Oh my God, my voice is going to be gone within the next 5 seconds here. Oh
yeah,
my God.
The top 3 drivers have just shot away. Jake Warrior and MJ Coupe starting to pull away from Sir Spud. They got 1.3 seconds. Oh, Big Lugby tries to move up the inside of the Ferrari and the Nitro Gas. And there's contact. There's contact at turn 12. So disaster for McLugby. Attempting a move, maybe a bit risky, into turn 12, and he's certainly compromised not only his race, but Nitro Gas's race as well.
Ross has dropped down to pits now. And so we're waving to Anne Giuseppe. Could you explain what happened there, Craig?
Yeah, just the run up towards turn 12. Mick Lugby tried to go down the inside of Nitro Gas. It was just no room at all. And he clipped the back of Nitro Gas's car, which caused both cars to spin off track. And both drivers had to wait for all the cars to pass before they could safely rejoin.
Oh, okay. Fair enough, Craig. Because I was trying to watch it from the back and I just saw what you were saying about that incident there. But... oh my God, we had 2 in the beds, 3 in the beds. Oh, could we have, for the first time ever, a 4 in the bed situation here? Oh, please, that's all I ask. Oh, Giuseppe's DNF'd?
Yeah, not really sure what's happened there. Just try to quickly grab him. I think that's a retirement on track. There's slight damage to the right hand side of the front wing and he's pulled off just after turn 1.
Oh my God, this is I don't know what to say now next, Craig, but
yeah, so we're just starting turn 3. Notorious pulls out from behind Nick Thompson. So he's actually not getting in the toe and he's not really making any headway on the Toro Rosso of Nick Thompson ahead, but Mr. Stim locks up slightly going into turn 1 for the McLaren. That allows Nick Thompson to close him down slightly more in the Toro Rosso, but Sir Spud starting to catch Jake. Gap's now down to 0.4 of a second, so Sir Spud takes 0.6 out of the Mercedes driver in the last few laps.
Oh, he's trying everything he can after that bad start there from Sir Spud. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is one fantastic bloke, and he is, with him and Mike, the most consistent points ever. Absolute most points consistency on the Performance League since Invictus has started, Craig, and they are the ones to watch. If you're a fantasy league person, if we ever do that, Craig, I would pick them 2 for most consistent points here in this league. And I can't stop saying this league because this is the most performance league, most absolute peach of a league of this one.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you there, Mark, but there's a three-way battle developing for P4 with Mr. Stim, Nick Thompson and Notorious, and there's also a battle between Tejua and the Boogster for P7 and 8 as we start that long run down towards turn 1. So Nick Thompson trying to go round the outside, open up the entry into turn 1. Mr. Stim goes defensive, but Mr. Nick Thompson has to lift off. That allows Notorious in the Red Bull to put the Toro Rosso under a lot of pressure. We come across the second DRS zone on that run down towards turn 4 and 5. I was wondering if Notorious might have tried one of those spectacular overtaking moves that we saw last season in the USA, but Notorious staying a bit more conservative at the moment. He knows that there is a long season to go and also a tremendous amount of laps remaining in this race.
Definitely. While you're watching that, Craig, I went back to Nigel Gash and Meg Lugby, but I'm coming back. Oh, Notorious! Oh, he's gone running! Oh, no, he hasn't!
Yeah, Nick Thompson holding on to the inside line at turn 12, just trying to prevent Notorious from doing the cutback. But Notorious just needs to tuck in behind Nick Thompson, get the toe and the DRS out of turn 17.
You are right there, Craig. We have got another 4-car battle here. 4th, 5th again. Oh, we got Nick, Notorious, Tej, Boogster, the Veruska. Oh, come on. Oh,
yeah, Notorious looking to go round outside. He's opening up the entry into turn 1. So Nick Thompson will have to go defensive. Yeah, Notorious went right round outside. He was able to carry the pace on the wider entry, but the Mercedes of Tejua all over the back of him, and Tejua goes round the inside. He's trying to go the double overtake. Can he go inside Nick Thompson? He's went deep into turn 4, I believe that is.
Move.
Oh, double overtake from Tejua, fantastic. And the Boogster looking to come round inside the double right hand of Nick Thompson. Absolutely fantastic driving from Tejua and the Boogster.
That'll be on the overtakes on Instagram, guys. You should record that. That is absolutely epic. Oh, beautiful.
Well, the gap's closed down between the top 3 drivers. What is happening, Mark?
Sorry, Craig, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Nigel Gash has lost his car, which is Mick Lugby's moved up to 13th. I'll let you carry on, Craig.
Yeah, just saying the gap's closed down between the top 3 drivers. It's down to 1.2 seconds. So Spud got a great run on the Mercedes on the run down to turn 1. Gets the DRS open. He's on the inside at turn 1. Jake Warner having to go defensive. Jake Warner lifting off, looking to go for the cutback. But Sir Spud just allows the car, the pace of the car to just carry on through turn 2. And then turn 3, he's actually got DRS again on the run down towards turn 4 in the second DRS zone.
Oh, what a move from Notorious! No, Nick, Notorious! Oh my God, pick a position, guys. That's all I ask. Oh,
yeah, Nick Thompson trying to get it done under braking, going round the inside, but Notorious will have the inside for turn 5, and he's actually managed to defend that position at turn 6.
Oh, what this? Oh my God, Craig! Oh, we have come back. This is carried on from last season. Oh, you beauty! Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, and the Boogster in the McLaren looks to have a lot more pace compared to the Mercedes of Tejua coming through the S section at sector 2. While Sir Spud's actually closing down MJ Coupe, the gap half a second, and Sir Spud will have DRS. So will we see Sir Spud retake the race lead? MJ Coupe goes defensive back over to the racing line. Sir Spud comes across into the toe. We're starting that run down towards the braking zone of turn 1. But we see Sir Spud braking late, trying to get closer to the force under of MJ Coupe, which is notoriously understeery. Sir Spud managed to close down MJ Coupe as we come through the chicane section. The gap 0.3 of a second alongside, along into the second DRS zone. That run down towards turn 4. MJ Coupe takes a wider entry. Sir Spud's got a shallow entry into turn 4. Runs wide slightly at the exit of turn 5, very tight on turn 6, but MJ Coupe holding on to the race lead in the Force India.
Oh, Craig, Craig. I thought you said the S word, you know, the rude word, when you say so shower.
Not at all, not at all.
So I do apologise. We were just watching. I just want to say good evening to Core Tactics. I hope you're okay, well, mate. He just said Mike's creeping along nicely on the Super Softs. Do you agree, Craig?
Yeah, he's very nice, holding on to P9, 8/10ths behind Nick Thompson
Good
on
Tej.
the Ultras. Tedward doing very well in 5th at the moment. He's actually pulling the Boogster and the McLaren along with him. So the Boogster almost getting a tow all the way around the track.
Yeah, Tej just lost a bit of his tracking there, but the Boogster, that Veruska, on that one, will he get a DRS on here? He has got DRS, but...
Yeah, Tedward should be able to defend that with the Mercedes power. Shouldn't come under too much attack from the Boogster behind, but Nick Thompson and Mike battling it out. Nick Thompson tried to go defensive, but Mike in the Williams just goes right round Nick Thompson, the Toro Rosso, and moves up to P8.
Yeah, he's done that. Oh, he's done that one there well, mate, Mike. He has. Sab's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, Craig.
The Boogster all over the back of Tedward as we're coming through turn 4 and 5.
Oh my God, what a move! Oh, beautiful! Just went past Rossi, but Rossi may have... I thought you would have got a little bit of an exit there. But fair play to Waving Tail. It just late braking.
Possibly a 3-way battle for 5th place. Developing, Mark. We have Tedward leading the Boogster with Notorious in the Red Bull 4/10ths behind, but Mike in the Williams is pulling Nick Thompson along. So could we have a 5 or 6-way battle if Betrayer can get involved as well?
What's that, Craig? It's a spud! It's a spud! Oh, MJ Coop! Oh, I think MJ Coop's lost his wheels on that one. Oh my God, we haven't got any wagon wheels on this. Oh, you beauty. Oh, I do apologise, Craig.
Jake Warrior's just tucked in behind the Ferrari. It's a Spud looking to go round the outside. So Spud trying to make a move on the inside at turn 4, but MJ Coop goes defensive. So Spud gets a better exit out of turn 5. Oh, it's a really shallow line. He's going to have picked up grass at turn 6. MJ Coop's allowed to just begin to open up the gap. And now Sir Spud's going to suffer the disadvantage of dirt air, but MJ Coop cuts the corner, has to lift off in case he receives any more penalty. That's allowing Sir Spud to power up behind MJ Coop's Force India.
Oh my God, Craig. What are you watching that? I just saw Notorious just went past Tedward for 5th place. Oh, it's a Spud!
Had a little look up the inside there at turn 13. Thought better of it. He knows he's going to have DRS, but he's going to have to be very mindful of Jake Warrior. And Jake Warrior actually comes into the pits. So an early pit stop there from Jake Warrior, possibly looking for the undercut.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because of that battle going on. He was trying to at least get ahead of the competitors going forward. But he's going for the super softs, Craig. He's going for the super softs.
I don't think the undercut is as strong here at Mexico as what people believe it is, because it is a very short track. And It might take a little bit of time to switch on those new tyres and get them up to temperature. So if MJ Coop and Sir Spud don't compromise their speed... Oh, and there's a loss of rear traction from Sir Spud, possibly dropped one gear too many. And a little slide there, and that allows MJ Coop to open up the gap to 1.4 seconds.
Craig, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars within each other for battle for 5th place. This is absolutely intense stuff through the S's, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Craig, this is the most crucial sector ever, the S's part, because if you don't get that right line, you will lose about possibly a second, at worst 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think the danger is that you can either pick up marbles going off track, missing the racing line, or actually cutting the corner and picking up warnings, which will eventually lead to a penalty. So Nick Thompson does pit from P7th at the end of lap 10, and that promotes Betrayer up to P6. As Sir Spud also pits, crossing over to the Super Soft.
Just not enough. Sir Spud trying to get in front of Jake, but Jake's got in front of Sir Spud.
I think that was the slide at the exit of turn 5 that certainly allowed Jake Warrior to really use that undercut. So Sir Spud compromising that battle between himself and Jake Warrior with that loss of traction earlier on.
Oh, Jake! Oh, beautiful! Oh, it's a Spud's closing in on SJD 1988.
Yeah, SJD yet to pit, and this will be holding up Sir Spud and really compromising Sir Spud's battle with Jake Warrior. So Jake Warrior really needs to start opening up the gap between himself and Sir Spud for P8 at the moment, because once SJD pits, then Sir Spud will be released and will certainly look to challenge Jake Warrior, who's still just slightly ahead. But Jake Warrior also has traffic ahead in the form of Saab in the Red Bull.
Do you want some bad news for some of the drivers, Craig? We've got MJ Coupe and the Toys have got a 5-second stop-go penalty on their next one.
Yeah, so they will get that applied to the second pit stop, being a 2-stop strategy. Jake Warrior with Mercedes power and the DRS just goes round outside of Saab in the Red Bull, who is yet to pit, starting on the soft tyre.
Yeah,
looks as if Sir Spud has actually negotiated the overtake as well, so Sir Spud clears a little bit of traffic.
Sorry about that, Craig. I didn't mean to interrupt you there again. I will owe you a couple of iron brews after this. I promise that. We've got MJ Coupe. Just went through the outside and he was just like, "Oh, I'll take the soft tyre." And I'll say, "Well, thank you very much. I'll take 7th place." I think he will go for the 1-stop. You were about to say something, Craig. Sorry.
Yeah, that's going to be a big challenge. Starting on the ultras onto the soft, so big risk from MJ Coupe at the moment, and he certainly didn't need to take it because he was in a very strong position leading the race. I thought he might have opted for the safer 2-stop strategy, and if Sir Spud sticks with the 2-stop strategy as well as Jake Warrior, that actually might come into play into their hands.
What a move from Sir Spud! And he will have a DRS past
Saab just trying to tuck in behind to get the toe, but MJ Coupe in the Force India charging really hard, catching the Red Bull of Saab into turn 1, so Sir Spud still within touching distance. Sir Spud's really going to have to maximise the tyre grip on those supers.
Yeah, while MJ Coupe's battling out with Saab there, Sir Spud has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Rossi's got a DNF.
MJ Coupe's just clipped the back of the Red Bull of Saab. Saab able to recover as MJ Coupe lifts off, allowing Saab time to recover that car.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Rossi.
But there's an interesting development at the front of the grid, Malk, as Mike is beginning to close down Tejwar in the Mercedes. The gap currently at 1 second as we come round towards turn 12 into that tight left-hander that is turn 13. Mike drifts slightly wide of the entry into turn 13.
Oh no. We've got a bit of a problem here, guys. If you don't know the league racing stuff, with the F1 2017 game, if someone leaves the session, there's a slipstream problem.
Well, at the moment, I just saw MJ Coupe closing down Saab. It looks as if he actually got a good toe off the Red Bull, so it's not too evident at the moment. We're still seeing some good overtakes.
Okay, that's fair enough, Craig. I'll just explain it to all the viewers to make sure they, so they understand what's happened, why they can't get overtakes and stuff. But it looks like it's okay so far. But Core Tactics has commented just saying Coupe has lost that in the pits. Do you agree, Craig, or do you think otherwise?
No, I certainly agree with that. He might have actually compromised his own race strategy It's really tough to.
Oh!
Oh, Notorious trying to get it done under the exit of turn 6. Almost running into the back of SJD 1988, possibly. Miscalculating the degradation of tyres. So Notorious just opting to pull out of that, certainly trying to avoid front wing damage. But all he has to do is really lift off and allow SJD a little bit of time, but stay within that 1 second DRS activation point and really get a run on him on that run down towards turn 1.
So Spud, sorry Craig, so Spud has passed Jake now for 4th place. Oh my God!
It's a drag race down towards turn 1 between Mr. Stim and the McLaren, and Saab and the Red Bull, and the McLaren very surprisingly sleek in that straight line.
Oh, fair play.
But as that's going on, Mark Betrayer's just behind Mike, 0.7 of a second on the soft tyre. So again, a very, very well thought out strategy from Betrayer.
He has there, Craig. But don't get me wrong, Betrayer needs to look behind because the Spud is catching up for 4th place.
Yeah, and that is not a fight that Betrayer needs to be involved in at the moment. That is not his fight.
Oh no! Oh my God, it's the Spud! Oh, what a move!
Yeah, I don't think Betrayer was going to battle too hard. He knows that he's got longer to run in the soft tyres, and he knows he's not on the same strategy as Sir Spud ahead and Jake Warrior, who's trying to get past behind.
Oh my God, my heart was in my mouth there, Craig, because I thought there was going to be a collision there, but
well, we might see a change in the lead, Mark. We might see a change in the lead. Sir Spud looking to go round the outside of Mike's Williams into turn 1. Oh, he's got it done with the fresher tyres, but Mike looks to come back at turn 2 and 3. Betrayer still holding off the Mercedes of Jake Warrior in that run down towards turn 1. So possibly a 4-car battle for the race lead.
Possibly, Craig, but we might have another battle here with Meg Lugby and Chedroir.
Oh, Mr. Stim goes for the cut back on the entry into turn 4 and 5. Look at it go round the outside of the Force India of MG Coupe at turn 6 and does it. Absolutely spectacular overtake from Mr. Stim.
Fair play, fair play. Oh, Betrayer!
Yeah. Yeah, Mike missed his breaking point, I think, or there was earlier contact between himself and Sir Spud, because certainly Mike got out the way of Jake Warrior and Mike. Jake Warrior and Betrayer.
Yeah, I can't say that anymore on that one, Craig, but I'm just going to see if Jake Warrior tries to catch up to Betrayer, because Jake does not want to stay behind too long. Yeah,
both cars with Mercedes power. Jake Warrior will have DRS. He's starting to close down Betrayer, but it's all going to come down to who's later on the brakes. Oh, Jake Warrior tries to go round outside, but he's not close enough to affect a move into turn 1. He'll certainly get a second chance at DRS on that run down towards turn 4. It's all about corner exit. Betrayer just holding on to the middle of the track. Jake Warrior looking to come round inside at turn 4. It looks as if he's got it done. So Jake Warrior gets a move done into turn 4, and he'll need to start getting on the gas to catch Sir Spud, who's 3.6 seconds ahead.
Yeah, definitely. While you're watching that, Saab has got another 5-second stop-go penalty. I don't know if he's got another one, sorry, but I can't remember if he did. But he has got a 5-second stop-go penalty. Saab's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. So he needs to be careful now.
Yeah, we could be approaching the level of DSQ in terms of time penalties, it being 21 seconds. Certainly we don't take into consideration the 5-second for the stop-go for pit lane speeding. It's only for the warnings for track extension and corner cuts.
Definitely. Don't get me wrong, this track is more... it is a bit harsh, isn't it? Don't you agree? On some corners?
there are elements where it's a bit stricter and more lenient. As we do receive another retirement from the race, Saab does pit. I think he was actually up in P8 at the moment, but possibly felt that there was too many penalties accumulated to be competitive. So Nick Thompson goes defensive. Tedjoir looking to go down inside at turn 1. Yellow flag, sector 1. Not sure if somebody ran wide. Yellow flag's out again for sector 1, so not sure what's happening ahead on track. But Tedjoir trying to get the run on Nick Thompson down towards turn 4, certainly more conservative and not too aggressive at the moment. And as we reach the halfway point, Mark.
Definitely. Where's the time gone? We need more. We need more of this, Craig. But we just want more races, don't we? Because this has been an absolutely fantastic start. Don't get me wrong. These guys are just going to be absolutely firing their hearts out. Just try and get those decent points for the start of the season. And don't get me wrong, we have got a 3-car battle for 8th place, Craig. 8th place. Yeah,
Tedjoir currently in a Toro Rosso sandwich. You won't want to be stuck behind Nick Thompson too long. Nick Tedjoir looking to go for the one-stop strategy on the soft tyre, with Nick Thompson also on the soft tyre, so both these drivers looking to go for the same race strategy.
Yeah. Oh, Tej! Oh,
yeah, gets it done down the inside at turn 1. Nick Thompson looking to come back. Not sure if there was slight contact between the Toro Rosso and the Mercedes, but Tedjoir moves up to P8. But Nick Thompson has to be mindful of his teammate Mig Lugby behind, challenging him for P9. Mig Lugby breaks late and just couldn't get that car turned in, but Nick Thompson just took the pace of the car round the outside at turn 4 and 5 and maintains 9th position.
He's done that well. Mr. Stim in the McLaren car in 4th place, catching up to Betrayer in the Williams car.
Yeah, I think both drivers have yet to pit as well. So Betrayer possibly looking to go a bit later in the race, possibly going on to ultra soft tyres. He needs to get the soft tyres to lap 23, which is actually 1 lap beyond recommended distance. So is Betrayer going to try a risk and go on the ultras at the end of the race?
Would you do that, Craig?
Yes, I would.
Would you do that? I knew you was going to say that. Risking it for a biscuit on that one. The Bookster! I thought he was going to have a good exit passing MJ Coopers on the soft tyre. But
Mr. Stim going round the outside at Betrayer on his run down to turn 4 and moves up to 3rd place.
He has driven a magnificent drive tonight, Craig. Don't you agree with Mr. Stim?
Yeah, he's certainly done some very good and impressive overtakes, and that certainly put him into that position. Especially compromised with the slow car that is the McLaren. But let's not discount the Boogster. He's currently down in P6 at the moment on the super soft tyres, beginning to put the MJ Coupe on the soft tyre under a little bit of pressure as we come up towards turn 12 into the stadium section.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know I said this. I should have said this earlier in the broadcast, but the Boogster, he's like the one to watch, isn't he? I know he's a new guy, but he's quick on his day.
Yeah, certainly Mr. Stim and the Boogster very equal on pace. And the question is, will we see a battle between the McLaren drivers at some point in this race?
I hope so, because it'd be like Alonso battling out with Van Dorn on that one. But
yeah, MJ Coupe runs slightly wide at the exit of turn 3. Couldn't get the power down as he'd liked. Run that run down towards turn 4, putting more pressure on Betrayer. Also on the soft tyre, but the Boogster just tucking in behind the Force India as we come through turn 6. The Boogster just looking to pounce on any mistakes from Betrayer and MJ Coupe.
He'll be like, I'll take the double overtake here at some point here, but it looks like Betrayer's tyres are gone, Craig. I know there's about 16 laps left, but his tyres must be killing now.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much locked into going towards the ultra soft tyre, because if he was going for the supers, he would have came in earlier. The super soft tyre lasting 17 laps. So I think the Betrayer is certainly setting his mind to go for the ultra soft tyre, but those softs will be really screaming as MJ Coupe looks to go under DRS on the inside on that run down towards turn 1. So MJ Coupe on the fresher soft moved up to P4, but the Bugster just closing in behind Betrayer, and I don't think the Betrayer will be able to defend too well on those screaming softs.
Looks like from the Queen flash going, that's it. I was screaming like that one, but that was the worst one I ever done. I do apologise, Craig. Oh my god.
As we approach the S corners, this is where tyre grip will actually tell the most. So you can actually see how much Betrayer's really struggling with tyre grip compared to the Bugster on the super soft behind. The gap 0.2 of a second. The Bugster has a little look up the inside at turn 12, and it's only a matter of time before Betrayer comes into the pits or the Bugster gets the overtake done.
Do you reckon he'll do it now, Craig?
I think he might go one more lap. Oh, I'm surprised that the Bugster comes in. So the Bugster possibly crossing over to ultra soft tyres. Jake Warrior comes into the pits from P4. So again, he should be crossing over to ultra soft tyres. So Spud currently leading the race. So Jake surprisingly sticks with the supers. Tetuan moves up to P5. So we might see Betrayer coming in the next lap as MJ Coupe holds on to P3 at the moment, but the gap between himself and race leader Sir Spud is currently in 12 seconds, and I think this has got to be the time that Sir Spud comes into the pits for the ultra soft tyre. He's got a little bit of a gap, and he needs a lot of time to recapture MJ Coupe and give himself a few laps to affect an overtake.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get it done within as soon as, because we've got about 13 laps left of this epic race. Mike's holding on for 8th, but the Bookster's trying to say, well, I'm here, sunshine.
Yeah, and just weaving a little bit. Oh, I think he ran right into the back of the Williams. He misjudged the entry speed from Mike on those soft tyres, and the Bookster being on fresh super softs, eager to get things underway and really keen to get past the Williams of Mike.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Well, Bookster will be hoping to try and get past Mike as quickly as he can.
And Betrayer does come into the pits on lap 23 and crosses over to ultra soft tyres, but can he get out ahead of the battle between Mike and the Bookster? It looks as if he's actually coming out. He's coming out behind them, so he's actually stuck behind the Bookster and Mike. But Betrayer's actually going to be on the quickest tyre.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah. Good defending from Mike, just holding on to the pace round outside, but those fresh tyres on the McLaren just plays into the Bugster's hands.
Definitely, Craig. I did not know what to say, because I was just seeing if Bookster trying to get past Mike there, but Betrayer's got that beautiful exits there because of his fresh ultra softs. Oh, I thought there was a gap there for him, but oh my god, this is absolutely intense moments here.
Yeah, and although Mike and Betrayer may be in the same car, they're certainly not teammates in the Performance League, so Mike will be doing everything he can to hold up Betrayer, but I don't think he'll be able to fight too hard with those softs. Trying to put a little squeeze on Betrayer as we run up towards turn 12. Oh, Betrayer goes round the inside of turn 12. Well, the car drifted out slightly when there was contact made between himself and Mike. Mike did not want to give up that position. Mr. Stim comes into the pits for a fresh set of ultra soft boots as well. Sir Spud on lap 25 yet to pit. Could we see Sir Spud trying to go to the end? Is MJ Coupe now up to P2 with Betrayer in third, followed by Jake Warrior 2 tenths behind?
Hopefully, Craig, hopefully. But if Sir Spud pits now, if he pits now, Craig, do you reckon he will come back to challenge MJ Coupe for the final bar of the race, or do you think that'll be too late?
If he goes on the ultra softs, he might give himself enough time to come back on MJ Coupe on old softs, but he's going to have to do it now. He doesn't. He's actually staying out on track, so Sir Spud actually could be compromising. He's the distance between himself and MJ Coupe, and I'll certainly keep an eye on the timing screen to see if Sir Spud's beginning to open up. Oh, no! Tedjoir goes deep in turn 12. I think he was actually getting out the way of Jake Warrior. I'm actually confusing myself. I was looking at Mercedes and watching telemetry. So Tedjoir not wanting to hold up Mercedes driver Jake Warrior at the moment. Both cars on different tyre strategies.
Yeah, regarding fuel as well, Craig, from what I've seen, Tedjoir is the only one who's on minus fuel. So he's trying to save lead on that one. Whereas all the others, so Spud has got about a lap's fuel. MG Coupe's got about 2 laps of fuel. Jake. I'm getting confused now because you said MJ, Jake. That's it. We got 0.5 Jake. Nick's just about a lap. And Mr. Steve's closely on Nick LJ Thompson, but he's under a lap. So most of these guys have got pluses on their fuels, except for Tedjoir, who's on the minus.
Yeah, Mr. Sturm certainly getting held up by Nick Thompson and Toro Rosso on the soft tyre. So Mr. Sturm certainly eager to get this overtake done and begin to chase down Tedjoir, who's 3.6 seconds ahead. So Sir Spud does come into the pits, but what was crucial, he was beginning to open up the gap slightly between himself and MJ Coupe, and what is going to be even more crucial is the gap between himself and MJ Coupe as he exits the pit lane. The gap currently at 6.6 seconds, and what is vital, there is no traffic between MJ Coupe and Sir Spud, so we could see a race lead battle at the end of the race.
Sorry about that, Craig. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but Mr. Stim, what a move from him. He was just like, I'll just go on the outside, keep it on the racing line, and keep in line with Nick LJ Thompson. And he was like, because I've got the fresher tyres, I was like, thank you very much. Come again. I'll take the 5th place. Yeah,
and the Bigster currently he's got the gap down between himself and Nick Thompson to 0.7 of a second. So the Bigster, similar to Mr. Stim, won't want to be caught up behind Nick Thompson for far too long, and we might actually see an inter-team battle between both McLaren drivers, Mr. Stim and the Bigster. But what might prove crucial is the different tyre strategies that both drivers opted for. Mr. Stim on the ultras, while the Bigster is on the super softs. Sir Spud is actually taking 3 seconds out of MJ Coupe's lead. The gap down to 3.7 seconds with 8 laps remaining. Sir Spud gets a great exit, the Bigster gets a great exit out of turn 17, that run down towards turn 1, and the McLaren driver pulls out alongside with DRS open, that run down in the inside at turn 1, so it looks as if the Bigster has got the move on. Nick Thompson trying to come back round the outside, but he cannot do anything against fresh super softs on the McLaren driver, the McLaren car, should I say.
Yeah, come on, we need tournament. Come on, Betrayer, you can do it. Come on, we need some battles going on.
The Betrayer using all of his experience. He knows he's on the quicker tyre strategy, and he knows he's in a quicker car compared to the Toro Rosso ahead. He just needs to bide his time as nitro gas sets the fastest lap for Scuderia Ferrari, 1:18.7. Scuderia. Betrayer looking to go round the outside at turn 12. Nick Thompson backs out of it. He knows that it's just not worthwhile defending into turn 12 on the soft tyre.
That was good timing. I gotta admit that. That was good timing. We were like, skibble-up, oh, beauty. Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's a spud, absolutely lightning behind MJ Coupe. The gap now down to 9/10 of a second. A spud taking 5 seconds out of MJ Coupe in about over one lap. So if Sir Spud can get this move done safely and just get the job done, he should take the race win.
Yeah, Tej. Oh, Tej is on. He's got the line there, Tej has. Oh,
yeah, Tej just controlling that turn in towards turn 5. MJ Stibbs lights up the rear tyre slightly, possibly in frustration. He knew he had that move done, but good defending from Tej at turn 4 and 5 just means that Stim has to wait even more patiently. But all the while, the Boogster started to close down the gap between his McLaren compatriot. The gap currently sitting at 2.6 seconds.
Yeah, while you're watching that, Craig. Oh, Sir Spud!
Yeah, we could see a change in the race leader. Sir Spud looking to get a run on MJ Coupe at the Force India DRS Open, but MJ Coupe's Force India very quick in a straight line despite on old softs.
Yeah, but Craig, don't forget, MJ Coupe has got at least 3 seconds worth of penalties. So either way, if Sir Spud does not have any penalties, he has got the chance to win tonight.
Yeah, but you want to get it done on track rather than penalties. You want that pride of the overtake, just taking it on a race. Taking the race victory from the drive rather than the penalties applied. And you won't want to be stuck behind a car going through this section because the dirty air is absolutely horrendous, as we can see for the Ferrari driver. Sir Spud goes round the outside at turn 11, but Force India driver MJ Coupe not want to give up this position. And Sir Spud goes round the outside at turn 12, certainly maximising and utilising those ultra soft tyres.
Yeah, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Sir Spud has got penalties. I might be wrong, but that is just absolutely massive advantage to Sir Spud, and that was the right call. As I said to you earlier, I was worried that he wasn't going to pit, Craig. At that point, I thought he was going to go for the super softs to the end.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to look after those super softs that well to get them to the end. I certainly think you're right there, Malk. But MJ Coupe, despite being on all softs, was holding on to Sir Spud for a little while there. And we're beginning to actually approach traffic slightly ahead. That looks as if it's a Force India just ahead of Sir Spud, and I'm sure Sir Spud will be hoping that he doesn't get held up too much, and that brings MJ Coupe back into play.
Yeah, hopefully. But while you're watching that, Craig, I'm just watching Mr. Stim and Tej. This is intense moments there because Tej has just got back into the fuel mix now of, like, in the pluses now, so he's going to try and hold on with standard, I think. But Mr. Stim has got a little bit of fuel.
I think he'll be using that to defend under DRS conditions as well. Certainly that Mercedes is quicker than the McLaren in a straight line, but with DRS, certainly Mr. Stim might have that advantage, but Mr. Stim could get the better exit out of turn 17 on fresh ultra soft compared to old softs on the Mercedes car.
Yeah. Oh, Tej!
Oh, yeah, Tej loses the rear end slightly at turn 17, and that gives the advantage to Mr. Stim, who's all over the gearbox of the Mercedes. With DRS, will we see a move under braking into turn 1?
No, because both Tej and Mr. Stim have gone on the rich fuel, but Tej has gone back into the minus on the fuel. No.
Yeah, Tej are just employing that fuel strategically, looking to defend against the DRS.
He's trying everything he can to hold on, but he has. Oh, MJ Coupe! MJ Coupe's lost it. I'm not sure what happened there, Craig.
Yeah, so at the moment it is a Ferrari and Mercedes 1-2, but Tej are just behind MJ Coupe. The gap 2.4 seconds, but he's got two very quick McLarens just behind on quicker tyres.
Oh, Stim!
Oh, Mr. Stim looking to go round the outside of the next section. Oh! Absolutely brilliant wheel-to-wheel driving from the Mercedes and McLaren driver, but after Mr. Stim's pace was compromised, that allows the Bigster to tuck right in behind. So we're going to get what we were waiting for, Malk, a McLaren battle between Mr. Stim and the Bigster.
The Bigster Faruska on that one, but will Mr. Stim try to hold on for fifth? He's got to hold on. Craig, he's got to hold on, but the Bigster's got
the Bigster has DRS, Mr. Stim does not, and that is crucial for this run down towards turn 1. So Mr. Stim gets overtaken, tucks in behind the Bigster's toe and looking to get pulled along the track. The Bigster will have DRS again, and that will get him closer to the Mercedes car of Tedua for P4.
I just saw the last ending of Notorious and Nick LJ Thompson. Now Notorious just went past Nick LJ Thompson, so I'm not sure what happened from there, but it's just like a normal overtake from turn 1. I'll let you carry on, Craig.
Yeah, so the Bigster currently holding position behind the Tedua as we come through the S section. Possibly a little bit of impatience from Mr. Stim, trying to get the move done in Tedua as quick as he could, recognising that the Bigster was approaching at pace. But Mr. Stim holding on to the Bigster, the gap still 0.4 of a second as we just come round towards that tight turn 13 and then 14, and it's all going to come down to who gets the best exit out of turn 17. Slight lock up from McLaren driver Mr. Stim, starting to fall off between the Bigster and Tedua.
Oh, Bigster's closing in on Tej.
Yeah, Tej looking to go defensive, goes along the inside line, covering off the inside line slightly and goes back onto the racing line, misses the apex slightly at turn 1, comes back across for turn 3, runs slightly wide at the exit as the Bigster goes down on the power. He'll have DRS again on that run down towards turn 4, but the Mercedes power unit in Tejua's car certainly helping him defend that 4th place.
Yeah. Oh, Tej!
Yeah, Tej! Lost the rear end at the exit of turn 5 and received a 10-second corner cutting penalty. So disaster for Tedua under pressure from the Bigster.
Oh, Tej is retired.
Yeah, I think that was possibly out of frustration there. He knew that good points were on show, they were available for him tonight, and that mistake at the exit of turn 5 certainly resulted in him losing out.
Yeah, we're on lap 35 or 36. It was really unlucky though from Tej, to be fair, because he, as you said, he did driven a magnificent race, and he'll be kicking himself afterwards.
So we are on lap 35 of 36. Sir Spud in the Ferrari looking to secure the race victory, holding on to a 10.1 second lead over Jake Warrior after Jake Warrior's return to the Performance League as well. So a great result for Jake Warrior after a poor pre-season, Mark.
Yeah, I was unsure because, as I said in my podcast before, I wasn't sure about Jake's pace around the Performance League. He is a good driver, don't get me wrong, but it was a very long time for him to driven in league races, so that's why I was a bit concerned of the start. But at the minute, if he keeps going like this, he has proved me wrong today, but can he do it throughout the whole season, Craig? What's your opinion on that?
Well, that is that is a championship question, Mark. I think the easiest way to approach each race is actually just to deal with each race individually, rather than looking at a 12 race season, so that you're not putting that pressure on yourself. That's certainly how I approached that championship winning season for myself, that you deal with one race at a time. And we are on lap 36 of 36 as the Boogsters trying to fight for that final podium's position.
Oh!
Yeah, trying a little late move down the inside at turn 1, but it was just too far back from the Force India. It will get a second bite of the DRS cherry as we approach turn 4. He's really struggling with straight line speed compared to the Force India. But as you said, Mark, penalties will come into play, and it will come down to who has the less penalties between MJ Coupe and the Bigster. As you mentioned earlier on, we do know that the Bigster does have penalties. As our Spud rounds turn 13 and 14 for the final time, comes round turn 15, 16 and 17. He will be absolutely elated as he takes the race win for the Mexican Grand Prix, and he should be joined by Jake Warrior, who will secure P2 on his return to league racing. But MJ Coupe doing everything he can to hold on to that final podium spot on the grid from the Bigster, but it will come down to penalties. Who has the less penalties? It looks like the Bigster's run out of fuel. The Bigster's run out of fuel. And Mr. Stim comes through. Mr. Stim did do it on track, but because of penalties, the Bigster was able to secure P3. So absolute luck of the Irish for the Bigster at the end of the race.
Oh my God,
so
Craig.
Almost disaster for the Bigster there. Luckily enough, he had less penalties for the drivers round about him.
Oh, can you imagine there was no penalties and that happened? We needed a photo finish after that.
Yeah, certainly there would be absolute carnage down at McLaren if they got that one wrong.
Oh my God. We're going to bring the drivers in, aren't we, Craig, for the first time this season?
Yes, we are. We're going to do the podium interviews tonight. So we will invite race winner Sir Spud, second place position Jake Warrior, and the final podium spot goes to the Bigster. Mark, if you want to run down the classifications for tonight's race victories or race results, and we will get the drivers in.
We have got first, Sir Spud, Jake second, the Bigster in third, we've got Prix in fourth, we've got Mr. Stephen in fifth, Victorious in sixth, MJ Coupe in seventh, Nick LJ Thompson in eighth, Mike in ninth, Wade in Tower 10th, Craig Lumpy in 11th, SJD 1988, 12th, George Grass in 13th, Pascal in 14th, Ted Watt in 15th, local car, and then we've got the two runners of Rossi as well. I'm just going to check the penalties as well. Looking at it, Craig, Mr. MJ Coupe has got 25 seconds worth of penalties. 25 seconds.
Yeah, so good driving from Sir Spud, really maximising that two-stop strategy as well as Jake Warrior. So hopefully we will be joined by the top three finishing drivers. So we have been joined by race winner Sir Spud, and hopefully we'll be joined by the second place finisher Jake Warrior and the final podium position, the Bigster.
Yeah, what's up?
So for all those drivers that have joined us so far, can you please ensure that your party settings are set to always share and that you remain in the race lobby as well, please? So we'll start with race winner Sir Spud, a fantastic way to start season 5 of your Performance League bid to secure the championship. Absolutely fantastic pole position, but it looked as if you lost out to MJ Coupe in the Force India. Can you take us through that moment as you saw MJ Coupe going down the inside, losing out to P1 before turn 1, Spud?
Yeah, I got a bit of a wheel spin. I thought I got a good start, but I tried to cut him off, and he was just too close to my back wheel. So I gave him room and just tried to go around the outside, but couldn't do it. But I managed to. My strategy worked, so managed to stretch the supers a few more laps so I can go back onto the ultras.
Yeah, it certainly looked before you came into the garage for the second time that you were possibly going to take those super softs to the end of the race, and we were actually watching the telemetry between yourself and MJ Coupe looking at the interval time. Was that the lap that you'd always planned to come in to convert over to the ultra soft, Spud?
No, I was going to go ultras, super soft and then super soft, but then I saw that no one was catching me because obviously Jake was behind, so I kept my eye on his time, see if he was catching me. And I knew he'd pitted a lap earlier than what I did, which he did the undercut, which was a good move actually. And I just thought, you know what, I can make these tyres last at least another 2, maybe 3 laps back onto the ultras at the end to try and catch MJ Coop and Jake if he goes around me as well. But luckily I got out before Jake.
Yeah, certainly when you come back out to the pits, I think you were actually lucky that there was no traffic between yourself and MJ Coop. And I think you actually took 4 seconds out of him on that first lap. But once you caught up to him, it looked as if you were maybe stuck behind him for a few turns. Was it your plan to maybe just tuck in behind, wait for DRS, or were you looking for a more aggressive overtake to secure the win tonight?
Well, it was just wait for the DRS because that's where I did most of my overtakes tonight, on the DRS straight. And you know, it was just, I knew I couldn't get round him because he just positions his car so much that there's no way of getting round, especially on this track as well. Other drivers probably would, but you know, I'd make sure I give people room. But
Okay.
you know, I just waited for the DRS.
Okay. Well, congratulations on tonight's race victory. We move on to second place driver Jake Warrior, driving for Mercedes this evening. How do you feel right now securing P2 after quite a poor pre-season and your first race on your return to official league racing, Jake?
I'm delighted, yeah. In pre-season I was all over the place, getting used to the game, getting used to slowing down for the pit lane, all sorts. When I was battling with someone, I just didn't feel like I was able to drive like I wanted to, but today I think I got the most I could. I mean, I knew Spud was quicker than me. I didn't try and put up a fight against him with teammates after all, so it was no point wasting us both time, and I thought our main battle was against MJ Coop, so I just tried to look after my tyres and bring it home.
Yeah, it certainly looked as if you were stuck behind Tom for a while on the sister Mercedes car, and it looked as if you got out the way at turn 12. Was that a discussion between yourselves, or was that a mistake from Tom going into turn 12?
I think it was a mistake. I knew when I saw that Tom was in front of me, I knew that it would be tough to overtake him. He's not someone that just lets you have a position and that's the end of it. So I think he made a mistake. Yeah, I was a bit worried because he was starting to hold me up, and I could tell he was going on to Rich every time he went on to the main straight. So yeah, I was starting to struggle. So I'm glad he made what I think was an error. So yeah, that was a big relief.
Yeah, we've actually just had that confirmed from Tom as well. I think he actually locked up going into turn 12 and really going deep there. So we move on to Brazil next week. Is this a good track for yourself, or is it an average track, or you know, what's your thoughts going into round 2 after securing second place, Jake?
It's pretty average for me. It's not one of my best. It's not one of my worst. It's pretty close track usually with times. I struggle a bit with the pit lane there for some reason. I always seem to get the exit wrong, so that's something I want to work on before next week. And I don't know if the cars are changed for next week, but hopefully I'm not demoted too much.
Okay, thanks very much, Jake. We finally move on to third place finisher, the Boogster. The first question I've got to ask, did you run out of fuel at the end of the race there?
No, I just want to make it a little bit interesting.
Yeah, I think I got very excited there when I saw you come out the exit of turn 17 and noticed that your car was ghosting a bit, and then Stim went past, and then Betrayer went past also. But I think you actually regained third place under penalties. I just want to ask your thoughts on your very first Realistic Performance League race after joining us from F1 last season.
Yeah, it was great fun. Enjoyed it more than the Equal League. More battles and so on. It was fun. Looking forward to next week.
And it looked as if you were having a little interesting battle with teammate Mr. Stim. And we did see you do the overtake late on in the race. Was that a driver that you were hoping to battle on track, or were you pretty much just willing to fight anyone that was there? Was there anyone that you were really keeping your eye on during the race tonight?
Yeah, I wanted to beat Mr. Sim his race so bad. So when I saw he was stuck behind Tom, I knew I had a chance because I think it was on ultra soft. So I knew his tire would go off at the end.
So it sounds as if there's an early rivalry developing between yourself and also a very quick driver that is Mr. Stim, and certainly as commentators we're hoping to see that next week as well in Brazil. Malk, is there any questions that you want to ask our race winner, our second place driver, and our third place driver tonight before we finish the stream tonight?
Yeah, I'll do about 4 questions, that's it. Not each, don't worry, just do 1 question each and then you 3 to talk about next week, that's all. But straight up to Sir Spud. Sir Spud, I bet you'd like, get in, my son, that's it. Oh, you beauty. We're absolutely magnificent drive. I bet this is what you needed to start off your good start for the Performance League, because in this track, did you like Mexico, or did you think you could have, didn't expect tonight, or did you, try and do everything you can?
Mexico's not one of my favourites, but when I saw I had the Ferrari, I thought, right, I've got a good chance. I know there's a lot of quick drivers in this league.
Yeah.
Not as quick cars, but quicker. And I was just surprised. I got bogged down at the start, but then got round, and now as soon as I went over the line, I turned my mic on off, and I was like, yes, let's put my mic back on.
I like your tactics, but I like that tactic.
Yeah, I was just just over the moon for the win.
Oh,
Good
fair
start.
play to you, Spud.
Good
Fair
start.
play to you. Yeah, fair play to you, Spud. That's what you need. You need to get that good start, and that's what we were saying as commentators earlier. But congratulations on your win, mate. I'll do the last question later.
Thank you.
Jake, you have done a magnificent drive. You have proved me wrong in this first race in my podcast to my predictions earlier, to say that I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but you have proved me wrong. Again, was Mexico your favourite track, or did you, like I said, did you expect to get second, or was you just try and see and hope for the best tonight?
I think I just wanted to have a clean race. I think I was worried coming into the race because I didn't think I had that much pace, and then I did my first lap in qualifying, and I was like, oh, that's a bit quicker than I thought. And then I obviously improved at the end. And yeah, I was shocked. I mean, I knew Spud was quicker. As soon he catch me up so quickly after every pit stop, so I was like, well, there's just no point battling him. So, because whenever I've been in the Performance League before, I've always tried to do well in the constructors, so I thought it was best that we got as many points as possible. Didn't think it'd be a 1-2, but not bad. Yeah, I celebrated quite a bit at the end.
No, don't get me wrong. You have proved me wrong tonight, but can you prove me wrong throughout the whole season of keeping it consistent? This is what I was saying to Craig earlier. You need to be consistent, and you have proved me wrong tonight. And I wish you all the very best this season. Like I said, I'm not changing. I might change my predictions afterwards, but you've done a magnificent drive, mate. And that's the old Jake that I know of for like the old years, and that is a magnificent drive. So congratulations on getting second.
Thank you.
It's fantastic. And then last question, for the individual drivers of the Bookster. Again, congratulations on getting third. You had our heart in our mouths on the last corner where you slowed down. I thought you lost fuel, and then Stim just crossed over the line. I thought, no, don't do it. As Craig said, do you reckon you'll get the edge of Mr. Stim throughout the whole season, or do you think it's going to be close?
No, I think it's going to be really close. Because in qualifying he outscored me by like half a second, so I think he's quicker, or I know he's quicker. But I think I'm more consistent. I think so, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. You, like I said, from what I've seen tonight, you are like one of the like the dark horses, as well as the Spud, as well as everyone else, because this is everyone's equal tonight, as in like 0 points. Everyone's going through it, and you guys have had a really good start to the league season of the performance. Fantastic, and I just want to say congratulations to you, the Bookster, for getting third place. And one more question to you guys, actually. As Craig said, it's Brazil. What are your thoughts? I'll let anyone decide to go first. I'm just going to say, Spud, what's your thoughts on Brazil? And then I'll say to Jake, and then the Bookster before we finish.
It's one of my good tracks. I won there last season, so high hopes. Depending on the car I get, so yeah, it's one of them.
I know it's tough for what car you're going to get, but I'm just asking what's your opinions on Brazil and what your thoughts. If you do get, say you had a good car, what's your thoughts on the track itself, shall we say?
A brilliant track, absolutely brilliant track. Track.
Sorry.
Needed a drink, mouth's gone dry. It's just one of a brilliant track. I love it.
Oh, definitely. Oh, fair dues, Spud. Fair dues. Jake, what are your thoughts on Brazil as a track itself?
Yeah, it's a nice track. Usually has some good racing. I'm not the best round it, but we'll see. Like if I'm consistent, I score points. I'm happy. I just get frustrated if I don't drive as well as I know I can. So yeah, it's a good track for me, but I don't think I'll be contending for the win.
You never know. You never know until the back lane sings. That's the old motto, shall we say, on that one.
I'll do my best.
You never know. You never know. You never know.
1-2 for the team again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fair dues, guys. Bookster, last question. What are your thoughts on Brazil before we end the stream tonight?
I actually don't like the track at all. It's fun to watch in real life, but drive it, I don't like it.
Oh, you never know, Bookster. You never know. I know you probably don't like it, but you might get a good chance. You might get a good chance.
I think it's a better track for McLaren, at least. I actually don't like the track.
Yeah. To see you guys battling out in Brazil, I just wish you all the very best. And please give us some more last-minute heart attack moments, because our throats are completely gone after seeing all that. And fair play to you guys. So, Craig, do you want to say any more final words to the guys before they head off? Craig?
No, I just want to say congratulations to Sir Spud for tonight's race victory, Jake Warrior for taking second, his return to online racing, and the Boogster for securing the final podium spot in his very first Performance League race. Good luck for all drivers for round 2 at the Brazilian Grand Prix, and I certainly hope that you all enjoy tonight for the Mexican Grand Prix and can rejoin us again next Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. So thanks very much, gentlemen, for joining us tonight for tonight's podium interviews, and we shall speak again with you soon. So as we'll just bring tonight's stream to a close, again, quick thank you to everyone who took the time to watch tonight's stream, to provide the comments and your thoughts on tonight's race. As always, to Malk for joining me in the commentary box for tonight's round 1 race at Mexico, and certainly looking to another good season, partnering yourself and watching some very, very good overtakes. Again, thank you everyone, and have a pleasant evening, and we shall see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, and remember guys, stay classy.